Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. So, what's happening right now with Villanova and with Kyle Neptune? Because as it currently stands, there are 8 players that are committed to play there next year. Max Shulga, one of the better lead guards in the portal, had committed to Villanova and ended up pulling his name back out of the portal, decommitted, and will be returning to VCU. So as things stand in this moment, it looks like the Villanova roster is going to be Jordan Longino, Nana Njoku, Tyler Perkins, a transfer from Penn, Jameer Brickus, a transfer from LaSalle, and 4 freshmen, Josiah Mosley, Matthew Hodge, Malcolm Thomas, and redshirt Jordan Dumont, which leads me to believe that this is going to be a rough season on the main line. What the hell is happening at Villanova right now, Jeff?
Well, I'm not convinced that Eric Dixon won't be back for another year. I think there's a chance. I haven't heard anything, but I would think he comes back for another year with big NIL because they've got that now, right? Villanova's got a lot of money back because they didn't really get anything done in the portal. And again, these situations aren't all that shocking. Like Mike Woodson's deal is really surprising, right? That he got the NIL that he got being on the hot seat right now, not winning last year. Scott Dolson, their AD, having to come out and basically give him, some support that he's going to get another year. And their boosters still fork over $4+ million for NIL. That is surprising. Well, Villanova, that didn't happen. It happened a year ago. They gave him $3 million plus, and he didn't do anything with it. They were a disaster. So you wonder how much this year those same people said, hey, you know what? We don't think he's the right guy, so we are not reaching into our pockets again and giving you this boatload of NIL that you need in order to be competitive at the highest level. And that's what the roster certainly looks like right now, Rob.
Yeah, and I also think part of the problem is that players and the people advising these players that are entering the portal are aware of some of the successes and some of the issues that are currently facing the players that are in and on those rosters, right? Khalil Ware enters the portal last year, transfers from Oregon to Indiana, and goes from being a guy that was seldom used at Oregon to a guy that is a projected like late first, maybe early second round pick after going to Indiana, right? You look at what happened with Trey Jackson Davis. You look at what happened with Jalen Hood Schifino. So while you weren't necessarily getting the wins, you still had players that went there and kind of outperformed or lived up to expectations that they had coming in, right? You look at what happened with Villanova. It's not just the struggles when it comes to wins and losses for the team. TJ Bomba went from a guy that was considered one of the best players in the portal to a guy that's leaving Villanova without all that much fanfare, right? You look at what happened with a guy like Tyler Burton, who went in there as a potential NBA guy transferring in from Richmond as a 20-point per game scorer, leaves Villanova after averaging 7.5 points and kind of torpedoed what was originally like a pretty decent professional uh, opportunity, right? Hakeem Hart, same thing happened to him. Mark Armstrong, 2 years there, never really got to the point where he was on the NBA's radar. And he's one of the guys that is now, we're sitting here like, does he really want to be going to the NBA the way that he is? So I think part of the problem is it's not just that the money may or may not be there from the people that are trying to fund that NIL. It's that the players that they're trying to get are looking at it and being like, yeah, I don't know if this is the spot that I want to be where I can kind of reach the biggest level of success for me.
Okay, I could see that for bigs with Mike Woodson. You could sell me on the fact that, yes, what he's done with Trace and Khalil Ware, but like Miles Rice, like something like that. Villanova didn't need a point guard. They need a point guard more than anybody, right? Mark Armstrong just up and left with basically nothing on the table in probably one of the most shocking moves of the entire offseason. So if you're Miles Rice and you're offered similar money, like you might go to Villanova, right? But I just don't think they have the same money available at Villanova that they had in Indiana. I think ultimately that's the differentiator here between those two. And it does surprise me a little bit, but Mike Woodson is one of their own. He does have support from some of the money people, and the fan base at Indiana is so hungry to win that they're still going to reach in their pockets right now, where I'm not sure Villanova fans and boosters aren't thinking to themselves, hey, you know what? If we don't give him money, maybe we can get Jay Wright back. Maybe we can convince him to come out of retirement. They're not going to, but maybe in their crazy lunatic minds, they're thinking, hey, if you know what, if we say to Jay, hey, we'll give you a bankroll of 5-6 million, we'll save our money. We're not going to shell it out for this year for a guy that might be a little bit. I mean, I don't know if lame duck coach is the right word, but like kind of. I mean, his roster, even with Eric Dixon, does not look like one. Like, where would you put it right now in the Big East? You're talking like roster
Uh,
wise. Where is it?
the good news is that there's virtually zero chance that Villanova finishes at the bottom of the Big East, because there are a couple programs that have a long way to go to catch up that
Sure.
are currently at the bottom of the Big East. There are two teams at the bottom of the league that finished at a combined 2-38 in league play in Georgetown and DePaul. And the two wins that Georgetown had were
But the
over
gap
DePaul.
has
They beat
closed.
nobody else.
I mean, right now, if Eric Dixon doesn't come back to Villanova, Rob, that roster you're looking at right now, is there a chance? Is there a chance that that roster they could finish in the bottom of the Big East?
I mean, there's always a chance, right? There's absolutely a chance that they could finish down there. There is, if Eric Dixon doesn't come back, like I don't even know what Villanova is going to end up being.
It's bad.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.